Hi, my name is Vanessa McCain, and I am doing my PowerPoint presentation over Nike advertisement. Who doesn't love Nike? I know myself, I'm a huge Nike fan. There's a lot of history behind Nike, so here we go. Some of the history includes there were two men that started Nike as a whole. One of their names were Phil Knight and Bill Bowerman. They're the ones that created Nike. Nike started, their first thing that they started with were running shoes. A few cool things that they started was Nike itself was actually created in 1971. In 1972, that cool thing that is their logo, the Nike swoosh, became created. Nike actually debuted its new line, so all their clothing and shoes, in 1972 as well. The very first Nike athlete was Steve Prefontaine. In 1984, the very first shoe that was created was the Air Jordan. I know that my husband loved the Air Jordan. In 1987, then came the Air Max, which is my favorite shoe. That catchy little slogan, "Just Do It," came available in 1988. In 1989, the Bob Nose ad came out. That is a very, very popular commercial. So Nike Town, which I love to go to Nike Town in Chicago, their very first Nike Town came out in 1990, and that was in Portland, Oregon. In 1995, Nike decided to sign with a sport. Their very first sport that they signed with was soccer. You know that golf figure, Tiger Woods? They actually signed Tiger Woods in 1996. So those cool Nike shoes that have the little shocks on the back, you guys will be surprised. Those did not come out until the early 2000s. And then in 2002, they had a secret tournament ad. So a little bit of their advertising strategies, they like to do big athlete, big ad, big product, global effect, and consumer experience. As we all know, there are a lot of big athletes that signed with Nike. A lot of teams have Nike as their advertising. Their ads are always crazy. Big product. Nike always has something new coming out. Global effect, everywhere around the world, everybody knows about Nike. Who doesn't know about Nike? And then consumer experience. They like to do what the customer likes. If they're not buying their products, they're going to look at something new. So, as I talked about earlier, the Just Do It ad. That came out in 1988. So, Just Do It is all over the world. Anybody that knows Nike knows that Just Do It goes with Nike. Just Do It had their very first major ad in 1988, and Walt Stack was the one that did that. So, also in 1988, they had something else big come out. That was their very first commercial for the Jordans. We all know that big athlete, Michael Jordan. He is the one that pretty much started that along with Spike Lee. They had the Air Jordans, and they were black. They did black and white. So, the Bo Nose commercial. Bo Nose came out in 1989. That was one of the most memorable commercials. I know that that was way before my time. I didn't come along until 1991, but I still know about the Bo Nose. So Bo Jackson and Bo Diddley were the ones that did the bow nose commercial. They do a lot of the Nike's cross training for all of the sports. So, in 1995, Adrian and Pete did the gorilla tennis. I'm not real familiar with the tennis, but they did do this on the streets in New York. They did play a tennis match. This then became one of ESPN's all-time sports ads. And so it's pretty popular now. It's a pretty big thing that Nike did start back then in 1995. So, along came females. If you let me play. In 1995, they started aiming the first female consumers. They started with the little girls. And they just pretty much did a lot of facts about benefits of sports. And that's how kids and females became a part of Nike. So, Tiger Woods. Hello, world. In 1996, Tiger Woods was a $40 million 5-year golf pro. That's when racial segregation became very popular. He was the very first black athlete. He promotes a lot of their Nike golf products. So, in 2002, they had a secret tournament. It was called the World Cup. There were 24 soccer players, and they basically went out and they had a tournament to show soccer is important. They tried to connect soccer globally with Nike. They do now have a line of soccer gear for Nike. So, yeah, the World Cup basically started yet another line for Nike. All right, and that's just a little bit about the Nike advertising and how it all got started. Thank you.